During the COVID-19 pandemic, you may feel extremely hard to concentrate for any length of time, as if we're in a state of constant distraction. And there's a psychological theory that might help explain why, the cognitive load theory, or we can call it CLT. According to CLT, when we're working on a problem, especially an unfamiliar one, we depend on our working memory, which is very limited in terms of how much information it can hold and how long information can be stored. The less familiar you are with a task, the more you depend on your working memory to process new information. In contrast, when you're an expert of something, most of what you need to know is stored in a long-term memory and you can complete the task on autopilot. This theory provides a useful framework for understanding the different ways the pandemic could be affecting your mental function. First, by forcing you into new routines, it has taken away your ability to do things autonomically. A work meeting is one example of this. Before, you would just have turned up and joined in the discussion. But now, if you're working remotely, you will have to navigate your video conferencing software, worried about your Wi-Fi, and so on. These adaptations force you to constantly employ your limited working memory capacity. Second, research based on CLT has shown how emotions can interfere with information processing. When you're anxious, for example, this is known to reduce working memory capacity, thus making it much more difficult to work through any mental problem that requires problem solving. Third, CLT refers to extraneous cognitive load, the demand on your working memory capacity imposed by distractions. This could be a secondary task in the background, like when you try to listen to the news while working, or distracting thoughts, such as figuring out how to pick up your kids up from school when your boss has scheduled a meeting at the same time. Thankfully, interpreting the mental training effect of pandemic life, the CLT points to some strategies to prevent it. First, try to establish new routines and then master them so that you don't have to constantly use your working memory. Second, put extra effort into stress management so that your working memory is not overloaded. This means eating as well as finding time for relaxing activities. Finally, take the strain out your working memory by eliminating distractions. For instance, when you're working, don't have the TV on in the background. Allow your mind to focus on one thing at a time, and you will be rewarded by feeling stressed mentally exhausted. Our brains have a limited processing capacity that's being stretched to its limit right now, but with some careful planning and self-discipline, there are ways to reduce the cognitive load and rediscover your focus.